So, what happens when a country with some of the world's strictest anti-gambling laws has a massive, thriving online betting scene? Well, you get the Saudi betting paradox. We've dug through the top 10 articles on Google about this, with our main source being betplace.us, and we've boiled it all down for you. So you don't have to do the reading, just listen up. All the links, by the way, are in the description. All right, let's dive right into the heart of this puzzle. On one hand, you have the law, which is crystal clear, a strict total ban on gambling. But on the other hand, you've got this booming, almost underground market where millions of people are actively betting online. It really is the big question, right? How is this even possible? How can a technically illegal industry be so active? Well, the answer is this really fascinating mix of modern technology, global websites, and just a deep, powerful love for sports. And here it is, laid out in black and white. The law is absolute. Gambling is illegal, period. You're looking at fines, even jail time. But then there's the reality. An estimated 5.2 million people, that's a huge number, are finding ways to bet online. This isn't just a fringe thing, it's a massive, hidden economy. So how are they all doing it? Okay, so how do millions of people just sidestep government blocks? It turns out the solution is a surprisingly simple two-step digital key that unlocks this entire world of international betting. It's really a 1-2 punch. First, you fire up a VPN. This makes your internet connection look like it's coming from a totally different country, so you can just waltz right past those digital roadblocks. But that's only half the battle. Then there's the money, right? And that's step 2. Using payment methods that keep things private, away from the prying eyes of local banks. And that financial privacy, it comes in a few different flavors. You've got the super high-tech anonymity of crypto, like Bitcoin. You have e-wallets like Skrill and Neteller, which act as a kind of middleman. And you even have simple prepaid vouchers. See, each one creates a layer of separation, and it's that separation that makes this whole market possible. So once they're online and their money is private, where do they actually go? Well, they land on the digital doorsteps of these huge international betting platforms that are more than happy to welcome this eager market. Now, analysis from our sources, like betplace.us, shows us what people are looking for. It's not just one thing. A site like 1xBet, for instance, is a huge hit because of its massive range of betting options and live streams. Then you have Melbet, which really pulls people in with big welcome bonuses. And others, like Bet365, build their reputation on trust and their international licenses. It just shows you, it's a real consumer market where people are shopping around for specific features. And if we zoom in on Melbet for a second, you really get why it's so popular. For someone in a country where this is all officially banned, seeing that a site is operating under a legal international license, that provides a huge sense of trust and legitimacy. That's why it's considered such a trusted option. Combine that with bonuses tailored to them, and, well, you can see why it becomes a go-to. And if you're wondering just how big these operations are, get this. One of the top platforms, Bet365, has over 45 million active users worldwide. I mean, these aren't small-time websites. They are global giants with the tech to reach players anywhere. And that includes all 5.2 million of them in the kingdom. Okay, so we know the how and the who. But what are people actually putting their money on? Which sports are really grabbing everyone's attention? To absolutely no one's surprise, football is king, especially with the Saudi Pro League just exploding onto the world stage. But what's really cool is how betting also reflects these deep cultural traditions. You have Arabian horse racing and classic camel racing, both huge. And then, jumping right into the 21st century, you have the digital battlegrounds of esports, which is a massive and fast-growing scene. Now let's look ahead, because this entire situation, this whole landscape, might be on the verge of a massive change. Saudi Arabia is transforming itself, and sports are right at the very center of that plan. This timeline really says it all. The country is pumping tens of billions of dollars into sports. It's a huge part of its Vision 2030 plan to become a global hub for entertainment. And the crown jewel of that plan? Hosting the 2034 FIFA World Cup. You can't aim to be the center of the global sports world while banning one of its biggest commercial engines. The tension between those two ideas is becoming impossible to ignore. And by the way, if you want to dig deeper into the best sites we mentioned, we've put together a complete list for you. That and all our sources are linked right down in the description. Which brings us to this final, really provocative question. As Saudi Arabia pours billions into becoming this global sports powerhouse, how long can its strict ban on sports betting possibly last? It's a fascinating collision of ambition and tradition, and we'll be watching to see what happens next. Thanks for tuning in.